And of course, people that, are fighting for social justice to come alongside of us and say, hey, enough is enough. Because, another life has to be taken in Beltrami County Jail. This is the third death in 3 consecutive years. So what is the Department of Corrections doing about that? They should be inspecting, they should be, investigating when there are deaths like that. That's such a small facility. I'm shocked that they're just kind of like sitting back and like, oh, it's not a big deal. It is a very big deal. And I pray that they will do something about it now. The hires that be that can do something about it. Because as I had said before, I'm trying to reach out to Governor Tim Walz, because he's the one that can do something about it. And I think Beltrami County Jail needs to be shut down, and an overhaul of all staff need to be taken out of there. Jobs need to be lost. Criminal charges need to be filed, and licenses need to be taken away. Yeah.
And so you filed a lawsuit. Is there any update from the lawsuit? I know it was just filed, basically, real recently.
Right.
And then we were talking about, the jail, but also let's talk about the nurses in the hospital real quick. Can you just give the audience an update as to, like, you also included Mend Correctional Care and Sanford Health in the lawsuit. Can you just give a quick synopsis of that? Well,
we just as you said, we just filed the lawsuit, so we haven't gotten a chance to really get going on things. But the attorney did respond, and it was we knew that they were going to respond with they're not accepting fault, and that none of the allegations are true, and all of this kind of thing, which is a joke because the videos clearly show otherwise. And we've got other information that we will be able to prove our point, and that they did neglect and abuse my son till he died. As far as the hospital and the nurses, I can't really speak for them, but we do know that, again, my son was released from Sanford, and he should have never been released from the hospital. With what he was dealing with, they should have kept him in that hospital until they were able to do more tests to find out exactly what was wrong with him, so that he could get the proper care that he should have gotten, and that any American should get, whether they're incarcerated or not. And he didn't. And what the nurses in the facility did or didn't do, they failed him miserably. There were tests, I think, that they did where they pinch the toe and try to see if there's pressure there, and that the bed of the toe you pull back, and I'm not quite sure medically what that's called, but they did that and he didn't pull back. So that was a clear indication that there was absolutely no feeling there, and something was seriously wrong. But again, it was that they didn't care. They just didn't care. But I care, and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure that this message gets sent, to the Department of Corrections, and that they need to do an overhaul of who's in charge and who's doing what, and how this should not be happening in the United States. Paul Bloom said himself, I've seen a lot of interviews and done a lot of prison interviews, and he's like, this is the kind of thing you would expect to see in a third world country, not in America. We need to stop this. This is ridiculous, particularly with our color skinned people. It's not okay.
Thank you. Any last words you want to say?
I'm mad, but I'm not mad in the way that people would think I'm mad. I'm mad, but I want to make a difference mad. That's the mad I am. I'm making a difference. So as long as I don't sin in my anger, as the Word of God says, you can be angry but not sin in your anger. That's what I will do. I am mad, absolutely, and I'm going to make a difference in whatever I can do so that this never has to happen again to anyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Any of you all want to speak at all?
I just want to say that there's been like 3 people to die in Beltrami County Jail in the last 3 years. Stephanie Bunker, Tony May, and Hardel Sherrell. Each time they have failed an inspection. The most recent inspection that they failed was this year, after the death of Hardel. after the death of Tony May, after the death of Stephanie Bunker, they're still failing inspections and they need to be closed. They have urinals in the female part of the jail. They don't have enough supplies for the inmates. They don't have enough supplies for the correctional officers. They got walls in there that need to be knocked down. So there's a lot of debate about Medicare for all, but that includes inmates too. We think that any co-pays should be eliminated that inmates have to pay. Well-being checks should be done every 15 minutes. A pulse should be taken. Blood pressure tests should be taken. There's a lot of measures that need to go into effect, and this incident with my sister's son is highlighting that right now. And this is a problem across the country. So thank you. And big shout out to Unicorn Riot for doing real grassroots, groundbreaking documentaries and reporting.
Anybody else want to say anything? You want to speak at all? Okay. Appreciate you all.
All right. Thanks, Nico. God bless you, man. All right. We'll talk soon.
So you heard it from the family of Hardel Sherrell, his mother and his uncle, who were up here at the Minnesota Department of Corrections. Tried to speak to the supervisor who saw the videos and said that there was nothing wrong with the way that the jailers and the correctional officers handled the case of Hardel Sherrell. He was a 27-year-old father of 3. He was in jail for 9 days before he died from GBS, which is like Guillain-Barré syndrome, and it sort of just hit him super fast, and the neglect was really sort of appalling in a word that I've heard some other folks say. And so thank you all for joining. If you really want to know more about the story, we had a couple exclusive sit-downs with Delcia, one in March and then one this last month, and we put out 6 jail videos from Beltrami County Jail that were released to us by the legal team of Delcia. And so check it out on unicornriot.ninja. You'll see a lot of basically medical neglect leading to Hardel's death. Very troubling and harrowing story to follow. So again, it's Nico from Unicorn Riot. Thank you all for joining. Right now we have like a small fundraising skit where if you give $5 a month, which we totally need, we have some gifts for you and we'll send them to you. So if you do end up being a $5 donor, monthly donor, which is incredible for us, please include your address so we can send you stickers and patch, I believe. And so again, thank you for joining. Our live stream footage will be deleted a month after, I guess, November 18th, from what I'm told. So all of our live stream footage, which is old historic for the last 4 years, social movements and other such happenings, that will also all be deleted from livestream.com within 30 days of yesterday, I believe. So that's a heads up on that. Otherwise, thank you all for joining. It's Nico from Unicorn Riot. Andrew in the back end, thank you. We're out.